Everyone's been focused on the fallout around Naomi Osaka withdrawing from the French Open last weekend. Meanwhile, there's another huge story that's been playing out. Monday, Rafael Nadal breezed through his second round match with Richard Gasquet in 3 sets. Now, Nadal had played Gasquet 16 times before and had won each time, so this was no surprise. But at the end of the match, Nadal just stood there and didn't walk to the center of the court to shake hands with Gasquet or the umpire. And he just stood there. Now, usually, that kind of behavior would be considered hugely unsportsmanlike and entitled. And there have been a few stars in the past who've been fined for poor behavior around the whole end of the match shaking hand thing. But this was Nadal. He's been an incredible ambassador for the sport. And he is the consummate professional who takes his responsibilities seriously. So he wasn't just going to blow off what was expected of all players at the end of that match. After a few very, very awkward seconds, Nadal bent over and it looked like he was trying to take his left foot out of his shoe. Now the stands were mostly empty, but there were a few reporters standing just behind where Nadal was. And one of them yelled at the umpire, "Il a blessé son pied." He hurt his foot. Now at this point, everybody around the stadium was probably wondering if one of his old injuries had resurfaced. Like when he hurt his left foot at the Madrid Masters way back in October 2005. And at that time, he just kept playing. Nobody knew he was hurt. He soldiered on, didn't talk about it. Unfortunately, it came back and he had to pull out of the Australian Masters just a few months later. But then, the strangest thing happened. Instead of standing on ceremony, the umpire got off of his chair, walked across the court over to where Nadal was, and shook his hand and patted him on the back. And then there were a couple of reporters and staff that were courtside who came over, and Nadal put his arm around one of them, leaned in, and hobbled off the court and skipped the courtside press interviews and the whole handshake thing, and just headed straight to get medical help. Okay, fine. That didn't happen. But what if Nadal had hurt his foot and he hadn't been able to walk over at the end of that match to shake hands with the umpires? Every player is supposed to do. And what if he hadn't been able to do those courtside interviews, which are part of his job? Would we have questioned his character? Would we be wondering if he's pulling some kind of power play? Or would we just assume that he was hurt and he needed to go take care of his health? And that gets us back to Naomi Osaka. We don't know what happened. But are we giving her the same benefit of the doubt as we might someone like Rafael Nadal?